There's no doubt that cheating is the worst form of destruction to your relationship or marriage. It's considered to be a betrayal of the vows they took when they got married, and once trust is broken, it can be a long road back for the relationship, and some may even go as far to say an impossible task. However, in some cases, the discovery of the act of cheating by the other half can actually make the relationship stronger, depending on the strength, love, and commitment for one another. Cheating generally means that you're not fully satisfied with your current partner, or you feel that something's missing in the relationship. And one should reflect at this point on what communication between the two of you has been like over time, simply because both may need to take some responsibility for where the relationship has now landed. This is certainly not to condone the act of the person cheating, as they still need to know they could have chosen a different path rather than cheating on the one person in the world they were closest to and had made a commitment with. If you were completely in love and happy within your relationship, why might it be that your partner decides to have an affair? Trust is a big reason here, but not of your partner, but yourself. Probably for some time, you have sensed that something is different or questioned the change of behaviour in your partner. Nobody deserves to be cheated on, no matter what state your marriage is in, and if you believe your partner is having an affair, now is the time to start paying more attention and perhaps do a little investigation just to be sure. Start by looking for the obvious things, such as a change in the way your partner dresses, a sudden desire to look good, a change in work patterns, an unusual interest in the gym, secrecy over phone calls or emails, a loss of intimacy in your marriage, lack of sexual interest or distance between you that never used to exist. In the worst case scenario, you may feel very compelled to even spy, and you can be very sure that's your mind telling you something isn't right here. A cheating partner can cause much emotional trauma, not to mention the harm it could cause a family. So here are 7 important clues that might help you to find out if your partner is having an affair. Number 1 is a sudden change in attitude and a sudden preoccupation with their appearance. They become more interested on how they dress and may look after their physical appearance much more. Things like attending the gym on a more regular basis or going to a beauty salon for women, even if this wasn't her main priority before. Number 2 is around less or no intimacy at all. If in the past you used to share everything together and then suddenly your partner has become far more distanced and clams up when you try to discuss intimate things, it could mean that they're already distanced themselves emotionally and mentally from you. All of a sudden, or even over time, your partner becomes frigid and loses any interest in doing anything with you. Number 3 is around your partner becoming more secretive. You will notice that they no longer are sharing daily events with you. They may even go to great lengths to avoid you because of the guilt that they feel. But be sure not to get overly paranoid and suspicious. Ask if everything is okay and tell them in a calm manner that they've been acting differently lately. Number 4 is when you notice a lack of interest in your family by your partner. If your partner is no longer excited to see you at the end of each day, where you each may have come home from work, then there must be some sort of problem here that certainly needs exploring. Or when your partner feels a sudden need to go out somewhere, then try and find an excuse to accompany them. If they come up with a reason that they had to go on their own, then push the issue, but not too much, but just enough to see if they become more uncomfortable, so particularly watch out for the body language. Number 5 is when you notice less arguing and fighting. For example, they used to get angry if you didn't want to go out with your partner and their friends, but now everything you do is all right by them. Once upon a time, your every move had to be premeditated. But now, all the small things you used to mess up aren't enraging your partner any longer. Now, some may see this as a good thing, but the reality is that your partner no longer cares, and that must be a sign worth paying close attention to. Number 6 is when you notice your partner more often on the phone and internet. You may start to notice that when they speak on the phone, they'll use a low voice or whisper, and then they'll hang up rather quickly. Or maybe they'll set up a new email account which they haven't told you about. They may have also bought a new cell phone that they haven't told you about in order to chat with their lover. Ask them if they're being true and honest with you, and if they become upset or aggressive, then it's obvious that they're not being loyal to you. Number 7 is when your partner is always running late. You'll notice that in the past they never came home late, but now this is happening far more often. The common explanation that they'll offer is that they had to stay at work longer for a variety of reasons. Or they may go to the store and come home several hours later with no really good reason as to why it took so long. And they could offer an excuse such as they ran into an old friend and got talking. But as you notice this happening more regularly, the more concerned you should be. You can be very sure that cheating spouses often look and act guilty, and they'll give off a general feeling that something isn't right. They'll try and avoid meaningful conversations, and they'll keep everything at a general and non-intimate level. As time goes by, be careful not to make excuses for their change in behaviour towards you, and don't allow these things that you notice to go unchecked. The only way is to have open and honest communication if this situation is to be resolved one way or the other. The question that you need to ask yourself is, will you be observant enough to know the signs that your partner is cheating? Because so many people simply don't want to believe that their partner would do such a thing to them, or they simply can't face what the truth may be. And so they tend to ignore it, hoping that their partner will just stop. Be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell so you can continue to find your new life.